welcome to Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and hits 103.9 FM in Accra. In Kumasi, we are live on Love 99.5 FM and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Bederin FM, Bumpurugu, Klenam Radio Bato, Gaskia FM Tichiman, Radio Wa, Get Radio TV, and online content on the myjoyonline.com interactive app for Android and iOS devices. This morning, Foreign Affairs Ministry rolls out comprehensive measures to address issues of extortion and mistreatment at passport application centers as it invites the public to report such incidents.
Anybody who has been here for more than a year, from Monday, please do not come back because you've been changed. We want to bring some sanity.
Meanwhile, the ministry says it is working around the clock to clear the backlog of applications. Also, former chief of staff of Niger seeks refuge in Ghana after coup in the West African country last month. Details, as he says, he supports a forced approach to restore constitutional order.
La CEDEAO, dans sa constitution, dans ses statuts et ses règlements, prévoit l'usage de la force.
He's making the point, basically, that in terms of the military intervention from ECOWAS, we need to acknowledge the fact, first of all, that there is a framework or...
Meanwhile, ECOWAS rules out seeking United Nations Security Council endorsement before deploying troops to restore constitutional rule in Niger in business.
Delays in supporting lenders through Financial Stability Fund putting local banks in danger. That's warning from banking consultant Dr. Richmond Ituahene. We have details on the Joy Business Report.
And also in this bulletin, Domahene Osadia Yoajaman Bedu wades into the Bank of Ghana's controversial $250 million head office saga as it criticizes the central bank's decision to construct such an edifice when the nation is in economic crisis.
$250 million, and then can start in the region here.
We do not support the Bank of Ghana's $250 million head office project. This amount of money could have been directed towards development projects in the various regions.
I am Amazing Yamiche Thompson. Stay for details. Now, if you have been a victim of mistreatment or extortion in the course of applying for a passport in Ghana, there is some good news. The Foreign Affairs Ministry says you can report such incidents for immediate redress. The ministry has this morning issued hotlines and other contact details which persons who suffer such incidents can report. This week, the minister, Shirley Ayokoboche, made an unannounced visit to the passport application center in Accra and expressed her disgust about the manner in which applicants were being treated.
Anybody who has been here for more than a year, from Monday, please do not come back because you've been changed. We want to bring some sanity. Every time politicians are corrupt. Meanwhile, it's some public civil servants who will do things that shouldn't be done, and then they put it on politicians. We come, we do the right thing. I'm trying to bring sanity into the passport system.
Meanwhile, the Foreign Affairs Ministry has released some statement giving us a raft of measures that they are implementing. Joy News editor Fred Smith joins me in studio with more. What's the statement saying, Fred?
Well, Mamisi, the ministry, it says the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration has observed with grave concern complaints by some passport applicants about extortion and mistreatment meted out to them at some passport application centers, as you mentioned. In an effort to deal with this situation, the ministry is urging applicants who suffer any mistreatment or extortion to report such incidents to the following email address and mobile telephone numbers and with the names of the officers and the packs for redress, and the email address ipab@mfa.gov.gh and the number of telephone contacts, all of which will be published on my Joy Online so you can follow them. But it says the ministry further wishes to remind the general public that passport applications are made on the passport application portal passport.mfa.gov.gh, and payment for the approved processing fees for the passport is made on the ghana.gov.gh platform based on the following, and it gives details of the 32-page, which is 100 cedis, and the 48-page booklet, 150. The payment is made electronically and not by cash. And as part of measures Mamiesi to be implemented, all efforts will be made to wear for the officers to wear name tags. The public is thereby advised not to engage any person who is unable to identify themselves with the issued name tags, as they most likely are middlemen, usually referred to as Goro boys. The ministry further urges passport applicants to always use the official channels to acquire their passports and desist from engaging unauthorized persons in this process. Furthermore, it says officers who have already served more than a year at the parks will be replaced with immediate effect, and the ministry's policy of yearly rotation will be strictly enforced.
Well, Fred, we know this has contributed significantly to the delay in processing of passports. How does she plan to deal with the backlog?
Well, there's a separate statement dealing with that, and that statement says the ministry wishes to inform the public that it is working around the clock to clear that backlog of passport applications and also sanitize the passport application processes. The ministry is inviting persons who have emergency situations to also call the numbers, which we will be publishing later, and that will help deal with the backlog.
Thank you very much, Fred Smith. On to Niger now. Former Chief of Staff of Niger, Jibo Dauda, is seeking refuge in Ghana after the military removed his boss, President Mohamed Bazoum. Speaking in an interview with Blessed Sega, he said he supports a forced approach to restore constitutional order.
La CEDEAO, dans sa constitution, dans ses statuts et ses règlements, prévoit l'usage de la force.
He's making the point basically that in terms of the military intervention from ECOWAS, we need to acknowledge the fact, first of all, that there is a framework or a legal regime under which ECOWAS operates. ECOWAS has a statute which binds all countries, and that statute permits for the defense of the democracy of all other countries. And so based on that, they believe that ECOWAS has the right to intervene, first of all, in the situation.
ECOWAS military chiefs will meanwhile be meeting for a second day at Birmingham here in Accra this morning to shape up plans to launch military action in Niger if all diplomatic efforts fail. Meanwhile, ECOWAS says it does not need a vote by the United Nations Security Council to legitimize its plan to use military force to restore constitutional rule in Niger. Dr. Abdel Fattah Musa is Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security at the ECOWAS Commission.
Multilateralism is dead. We are in a world of multipolarity. The Security Council will never be unanimous, and you just need the veto of one of the five powers. Okay? Permanent members. And then it is dead. Why waste your time? We have received the support of the United Nations Secretariat. The Secretary General has severally backed what ECOWAS is doing. For us, that is more than enough.
Meanwhile, the Bank of Ghana has shut down claims of procurement breaches in the construction of its new $250 million headquarters. Director of Research at the Central Bank, Philip Abredu Otu, said the BOG will soon be releasing full details of the edifice. The minority in Parliament last week demanded the resignation of the governor and his deputies over the matter. Noktong MP Samuel Kujetu this week also alleged procurement infractions.
The first thing is, I don't think the BOG has broken any public procurement law. I think the necessary public procurement approvals were obtained at every stage of the project. The full details of the components of this specialized central bank HQ, when I say HQ, I mean headquarters, which is in line with international standards, will be made public soon and at the appropriate time.
In a related development, Omahine and President of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs, Osadia Yo Ajiman Bedu II, has strongly opposed the construction of the bank $250 million head office.
Ohimai sasemi ya kan ke say nananom Bono Region House of Chiefs ya bonjoso na ya say ya de hye no so ba ka bi $250 million. And then can start in the region here.
We do not support the Bank of Ghana's $250 million head office project. This amount of money could have been directed towards development projects in the various regions.
As a matter of priority, we are appealing to the government of the Republic of Ghana.
And the opposition National Democratic Congress has maintained that the insistence of the EC to outlaw the guarantee system is a ploy to suppress voter registration in parts of the country. The EC chairperson Jean Mensah yesterday accused Parliament of undermining EC's efforts at organizing credible elections due to its failure to pass the new CI. For more than a year, the Electoral Commission has failed to convince MPs to approve the constitutional instrument. Speaking to Joy News, Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, Mustafa Bandi, said the EC is seeking to disenfranchise voters with system which is expensive to run.
So if the numbers go up between 8 o'clock, 5 p.m. and they don't, will the EC provide accommodation for these people? What she's simply doing is a voter suppression agenda aimed at disenfranchising Ghanaians by making the exercise expensive, which outrightly discourages a lot of people who are desirous, who by law are expected to acquire a voter registration card to vote, deny them from voting. That is what she's doing.
But Director of Research and Elections of the NPP, Evans Nimako, disagrees.
The position of the party has always been that in order that we do not go through the difficulty of reviewing every registration exercise, challenge with challenges over minority issues and non-citizens, let us have a more foolproof arrangement, i.e. the NIA, which guarantees more of credibility.
Well, that's it for the bulletin. I am Amisi Nyamiche Thompson. In our top story, Foreign Affairs Ministry rolls out comprehensive measures to address issues of extortion and mistreatment at passport application centers as it invites the public to report such incidents. Business is next on the Super Morning Show.
Fashion.